ever after. Cartonito Tales, Jack and the Beanstalk. Jack is a very inquisitive little boy. In fact, you might even call him nosy. He likes nothing more than to explore his house from top to toe. In every drawer, in every cupboard, and underneath all the furniture. Even though he's very good at searching, he hardly ever finds anything exciting. But what's this? Jack has never explored inside this little mouse hole before. He reaches in further and further until his whole arm disappears inside. Finally, he's found something exciting. What a strange-looking bean. I wonder if there are any more, thinks Jack as he reaches into the mouse hole. 1 bean. 2 beans. 3 beans. 4 beans. Are there any more beans? Jack reaches into the mouse hole to find out. And as he does, something very curious happens. The little mouse hole begins to grow bigger and bigger. Jack is very excited. Now he has somewhere new to explore. He crawls through the little arch full of curiosity. Who would have believed that on the other side of the little mouse hole there would be a beautiful forest just waiting to be explored? But where to start? There's so much to see and so much to do. A dainty flower fairy watering her garden waves to Jack. "Welcome to the forest," she says. "Thank you," says Jack. He shows her the funny little beans he found. "I want to plant these. I don't suppose I could borrow your spade?" he asks. "Of course," says the flower fairy. Jack puts one little bean into his pocket. "I'll keep this one for luck," he says. He digs a little hole and plants 1, 2, 3, 4 beans into the soil. They wait and wait for the beans to grow, but nothing happens. They are just about to give up when something very magical happens to those little beans. The earth trembles. Then up shoots a giant beanstalk. It grows and grows and grows until the very top disappears into the clouds. Jack is so excited. Another place to explore. "Do you want to come too?" he asked the flower fairy. "No, thank you," she says. "I think I'll just stay here." So Jack climbs and climbs and climbs. Up and up he goes. Before long, Jack has climbed to the very top of the beanstalk. Way, way up in the white, fluffy clouds. They look just like candy floss. And would you believe it, they taste just like candy floss too. An enormous castle looms in the distance. "Wow," thinks Jack. "That place looks made for exploring." The castle is so big it has lots of nooks and crannies just waiting to be explored. Everything is enormous, as if made for someone very, very large. Jack heaves open a giant treasure chest. He's amazed to find it filled to the brim with golden coins. He fills his pockets with as many as he can. A huge booming voice echoes around the castle walls. Fee, fi, fo, fum, I smell the blood of an Englishman. Be he live or be he dead, I'll grind his bones to make my bread. Jack doesn't want to find out who that voice belongs to. He runs out of the castle and all the way back to the beanstalk. He climbs down as fast as he can, without looking back, not even once. Safely back on the ground and completely out of puff, Jack promises himself that he will never, ever climb the beanstalk again. He sits down to catch his breath and to count the golden coins. He offers one to the Flower Fairy. After all, he has plenty. "Where did you find these?" she asks. "The giant way up in the clouds gave them to me," he says. The Flower Fairy takes a coin, and much to Jack's surprise, she unwraps it. There's chocolate inside. Jack tries one too. They are chocolate coins, the best chocolate coins he's ever tasted. He shares them with the Flower Fairy, and soon they're all gone. "Perhaps," says Jack, "if I'm very, very quiet, I could steal just a few more coins. They were so good." The Flower Fairy is very cross. "You stole the coins? Jack, you are very naughty," she says. "If the giant catches you, he'll be so angry." "Don't worry, he'll never catch me," says Jack. "I'm lightning quick." Jack isn't afraid of the giant, not one bit. Bravely, he climbs back up into the clouds. Jack creeps into the castle and heaves open the treasure chest. It's empty. All the coins have gone. A shrill squawk frightens poor Jack. He drops the lid shut with a bang. But there's no need to be afraid. He's only a little hen laying golden eggs. Jack slowly and carefully peels away the golden foil. It's a chocolate egg. And it's even better than the chocolate coins. Jack puts the little hen under his arm and creeps out of the castle. The little hen doesn't like being picked up at all. And so she squawks and clucks and fidgets and squirms. All the noise has woken up the giant. He chases after Jack. His footsteps sound like thunder. Fee, fi, fo, fum, I smell the blood of an Englishman. Be he live or be he dead, I'll grind his bones to make my bread. Jack climbs down the beanstalk as fast as he can, with the giant not far behind. Jack leaps to the ground. The Flower Fairy waves her wand and magics him an axe. He chops down the beanstalk as quickly as he can. It wobbles and sways, and with one final chop, it topples to the ground. But so does the giant. He lands with a thud right in the middle of the Flower Fairy's garden. Jack is in so much trouble. Not only is the giant going to eat him for lunch, but he's upset the Flower Fairy too. It's all his fault her beautiful flowers have been squashed flat. Jack holds out the hen with trembling hands. "I'm sorry, giant," he says. You can have your hen back. Oh, please don't eat me." The giant takes his little hen. His lip begins to tremble. "How will I ever get home?" he whimpers. The Flower Fairy gives him a tiny fairy-sized hanky. But it's much too small to dry giant tears. Jack feels awful. What can he do to make it better? He tries to heave up the beanstalk, but it's much too heavy. Then he remembers he has one last bean. He digs a hole and buries it deep in the ground. They watch and they wait, but nothing happens.
Maybe it needs a little fairy dust,
says the flower fairy. She sprinkles some over the ground with her magic watering can. The earth trembles. The beanstalk shoots up into the sky. The giant is so happy he can go home. He climbs the beanstalk in big leaps and bounds, with his little hen tucked safely under his arm. But the poor flower fairy's garden is still squashed flat. The flower fairy helped Jack, so he must help her in return. Jack works as hard as he can to make the flower patch look as good as new again. The flower fairy is very pleased. Jack has done an excellent job. Jack waves goodbye to the flower fairy before climbing through the mouse hole. He is home at last, safe and sound. He has certainly learned his lesson.
From now on, he says, I'll never ever be nosy again.